Every day in this country, thousands of preborn children are butchered in the midst of so many Christians. Millions and millions of professing Christians come to a Christian concert tonight, and they could care less about a Holocaust happening on their watch. Every day children are butchered, and what's the church doing about it? What are professing Christians doing about it? What are the Christians who come to this concert tonight doing about mass murder here in Chicago? What are they doing for the least of these? For their preborn neighbors who are scheduled to be butchered tomorrow morning at Planned Parenthood and other abortion mills. You can take time to come to a Christian concert, but you can't take time to go to Planned Parenthood and other abortion mills tomorrow morning to rescue children. Your priorities are upside down. Your priorities are upside down. You come to a concert for hours. You watch football on Sundays. You do so many things, but what about your preborn neighbors being mass murdered every day? Jesus Christ said to love your neighbor as yourself. And these little children are your preborn neighbors who you're neglecting. Over 60 million innocent children have been butchered to death in 45 years. And what are Christians doing about it? They're going to church on Sunday, watching football after the service, and ignoring mass murder the rest of the week, acting like it's no big deal that their neighbors are being murdered. This is what's happening to your neighbors every day. Look at these signs. Every day in this country, thousands of little children are butchered to death at killing facilities. They're murdered every day here in Chicago. Where are the Christians? What are Christians doing about mass murder? This is what's going on in your culture.
If you want to talk to them, all you're doing is pissing off my neighbors. You can talk to them, but this was pissing off my neighbors, and we're all just trying to make them live right now.
Well, but what do we need to do something about this Holocaust?
What I need to do is not have you use that thing. Well, talk to them. Go ahead, talk to them.
I am talking to them.
But not with that thing.
They need to hear the truth, sir. They need to hear the truth. You all need to hear the truth. Little children are being mass murdered every day, and most people go about their business like it's no big deal at all. Every day in this culture, little children are massacred. They have their arms and legs ripped off. Their skulls are crushed. And Christians couldn't care less. They go about their business like it's no big deal at all. Where is the love in your heart, Christians? Are you even a Christian if you don't care about mass murder? Look what's happening to your neighbors in the womb. Look what's happening to them. Look at these signs. Have compassion for your little neighbors who are being murdered without a voice. What does true Christianity look like in a culture that mass murders children? What does true Christianity look like in a nation that murders children in cold blood by the tens of millions? It doesn't tolerate it. It takes action to rescue those who are being taken away to death. Most people just want us to shut up. They want this to go away. No. We need this. We need to take action. When you have a Holocaust, Christians need to take action. What is wrong with us when we can take time to go to a Christian concert and watch football, but we can't take time to go to an abortion mill to rescue children from death? What is wrong with us? What has happened to our heart? We don't know God. We don't love Him. We tolerate mass murder of His image bearers. It's time to rise up, Christians. It's time to take action to love your preborn neighbors as yourself. It's time to rise up and take action. What will you do about mass murder tomorrow morning at the abortion mills here in Chicago? What will you do? What will you do about mass murder tomorrow morning? The Bible says to deliver those who are being taken away to death, hold back those who are staggering to the slaughter. It says true and undefiled religion in the sight of our God and Father is this: to visit orphans in their time of distress. No one in this world is more of an orphan than your preborn neighbor who's going to be butchered tomorrow morning. What are you going to do about that? Will you help them? Will you help your neighbors who are being mass murdered? Over 60 million children have been murdered in this Holocaust, and almost every Christian in this culture makes no big deal about it. Look at these images, look at these signs. This is happening to your preborn neighbors every day. Every single day. It's time to take action, Christians. It's time to take action. It's time to love your preborn neighbors who are being murdered. It's time to take action to rescue those who are being murdered. Look at these images. Look what's happening to your neighbors.
Yes, sir. It's 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
It's 10 o'clock. You can go ahead and protest all you want before from 8 o'clock until 10 p.m. After that, loud horn and everything like that needs to go. It's a noise disturbance at that point. I can go ahead and cite you for a noise disturbance if you want, okay?
So there's an ordinance that says like you can't be doing that?
Sorry?
There's an ordinance against that?
There is an ordinance against noise disturbances after 10 p.m., yes. And right now you're creating, you're also being audio video recorded. But after from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m., you know, it's different, but it's 10 o'clock, it's past 10 o'clock. So, all right. Okay.
How you doing, sir?
Good. What's up, Jerry?
What's your name? My name is Jesus.
It's good.
You ain't trying to kill me, are you?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. All the knives in the sword.
So we're not worried about your protesting or anything. That's your freedom of speech. But when it comes down to the bullhorn and everything like that, it's got to stop at 10 o'clock. All right.
All right.
So you're on the public way. You know, everybody has their that's the First Amendment right that you got.
Okay.
You got me?
I'd encourage you to rise up and, as an officer, and protect these preborn children.
Sorry?
I'd encourage you to protect everybody, including the preborn, as that's your duty as an officer. Both
as an officer, I don't have any kind of bias towards any religion, politics.
It's not about religion or politics. It's about protecting everybody, including born and preborn. And these children, almost every police officer will do nothing to protect them.
I have no opinion in regards to that. So.
Well, you should as a human being. I mean, that's officers they're here to serve the public, and this is part. And these, well, you are, but these children are part of the public, and so I'm just exhorting you as police officers to protect these children who are being murdered here in Chicago tomorrow morning.
You're more welcome to express your viewpoint, sir. I mean, when it comes down to it, right now I'm working as law enforcement in regards to them. That's why when I came up to you, I talked to you in regards to some of the things that are law related, right? Yeah. So with the noise disturbance aspect of it, I don't mind you protesting. That's your right. That's your right at all times, and you can go ahead and do that. But what I'm telling you is with the bullhorn, you're fine. Everything else, I can't tell you what to believe and what not to believe. Just like it is, we're up to everybody else to decide what they want to go ahead and believe in.
I'm just telling you the truth.
That's all I got to say. All right?
I exhort you to...
What's your name?
I prefer not to say.
But thank you.
Well, I do thank you for your service, officers. Every day here in America, this is what's happening to your preborn neighbors. Every single day. Every single day, this is happening to preborn children. Every day. What are you going to do about it? If you're a Christian, what are you doing about mass murder?
Abortion.
What's that?
We're not against abortion.
Who's we?
Me.
Why? It's cold-blooded murder.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not for it. I'm not for abortion.
Well, what actions are you taking to stop it?
Plenty of things. I vote differently. I don't know why it's at this concert. I don't know why you guys don't like go to Marilyn Manson's concert and protest at his concert.
We go to a lot of different places. We go in the public. Well, we're here because a lot of professing Christians are here because it's a Christian concert, but most of them aren't doing nothing to abolish abortion. Most of them are doing nothing. They'll spend more time watching football on Sunday. They'll spend more time coming to a Christian concert than to actually abolish abortion. Because how many people at this concert will be at any one of the abortion mills tomorrow morning here in Chicago? Almost none. Probably none.
But voting is like, people, it starts from the council.
perspective. You know what I'm saying? If you vote the right people in, you know what I mean?
But we don't do that. We vote for compromising pro-life Republicans who refuse to criminalize abortion. They regulate it because in 45 years.
I just think this doesn't make sense here.
Oh, it makes perfect sense because most people at this concert are doing nothing to abolish abortion. You'll never see them at abortion mode.
By a show of hands, who's for abortion?
No, I'm not saying you all support abortion. I'm saying.
I'm for women's rights.
Okay.
How about women's rights in the womb? They have rights too.
Yeah, that's a fetus, and
It's a child.
It may have a heartbeat, but it doesn't even have brain cells.
So
And if it's actively hurting a woman, I'm gonna go for the woman.
So we should murder children if they.
It's not a child.
Well, then you're dehumanizing the child.
It's not a child, though.
It is a human being.
Scientific facts.
No, you're not, ma'am. That's not a scientific fact. It is a human being. It is a human being, and you all know it. You all know it. Every day here in America, this is what's happening to children. What's the church going to do about it? What about stopping it?
What is this?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the officers just asked if you guys don't mind if you would still stand by like one down there, maybe one down that way. Just out of respect. And I'm coming at you as a brother in Christ. I love what you guys are doing, but I also I'll say if officers who are placing authority over us have asked us to maybe move, not be right in front of the door. I think out of respect for them.
Why they've asked us to do that?
They just did because they feel like the guys are just blocking the doorway, so they just.
We're not blocking the doors.
But if they, out of just respect,
they didn't even say that to me.
I'm trying to come at you as a brother.
Why? They can get out.
God asked us, man, to also this is right, and I love what you're doing. He also asked us to submit to authority, right? To the people that are placed over us. They're not wrong in asking you to step back. They're not wrong in asking you to maybe go down the side and not be in front of the door. And that in itself, and not in that self, they're not wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're still allowing you to do what you're doing.
As long as they don't hinder what we're doing, yeah.
No, yeah, and they're not by asking you guys respectfully and politely to just, stand right there or right over there, not right in front of the door. And I get what you're doing, and I love what you're doing.
So
I stand for it.
So are you taking action to abolish abortion yourself?
Yeah, actually.
So what are you doing?
I have shirts that I do, I wear all the time. I actually go down to Planned Parenthood and pray for people.
Really?
All the time, yeah. Especially the people that are coming in.
How often do you do that?
Every once in a while. Not very often.
I'd encourage you to do it at least once a week.
Yeah, it's hard because I'm in school right now, so.
Make time. Make it a priority.
I got a lot of responsibilities, man, so.
Well, but I'm encouraging you because I regret not having done that more when I was in college. I could have gone at least once a week and I failed to.
Yeah.
So, I'd encourage you to make it a priority to not only
There's a whole movement on our campus that does this very same exact thing, and I join them, and they as well do it once a week. So as a body, as a community of where our school is, we do this all the time. Moody Bible Institute.
Really?
Yeah.
So they have a group, or they have that goes out to the abortion mills.
Yeah.
Because I've heard Moody Church is not real fond of abortion.
It's not Moody Church, it's Moody Bible Institute.
Yeah, Moody Bible Institute. I didn't know that.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a whole group there. So
that's good.
Yeah,
how big is that group?
About maybe 30 to 40 people.
How many people go to that school?
Well, we have about maybe 1,000, 2,000.
That group should be at least 100 people.
Well, it depends on how many groups also that we have there to do other things as well. So we have a group that speaks out about this. We have a group that speaks out about sex trafficking. We have a group that goes out to the bars every Friday night and stand and pray for people. So we have a lot of different things of what we do as a whole, as a community, that God has blessed us to be able to do because we have a huge community. And so I was just trying to come out of respect for you guys because I do love you guys. And you could choose whatever you want. But I also believe that it comes a time with respect to authority. But you guys can choose whatever you want. I love you, and I admire what you guys do, and I will stand with you no matter what you choose to do. So I just want you to know that I appreciate you guys, and I'm thankful.
What was your name?
Zach.
I'm Nicholas.
Nicholas? Yeah. God bless you guys, all right? Thank you.
Check out, are you familiar with Abolish Human Abortion?
Yeah.
Do you know much about the movement?
Not really, no.
Well, Church, this is actually on the flyers we have. They don't make this one anymore.
Yeah.
But check
I've
it
actually
out.
handed some of these out.
What?
I've handed some of these out with the group at a meeting.
Well, that's good because the problem today is that most Christians.
Yeah, I've seen these many times.
See, the problem is most Christians, they don't care about this Holocaust.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that on display of the apathy. I mean, like, just even those I've talked to who've gone to churches, they say the same thing, that Christians don't care. And that's why we're at this concert, because I can tell you most Christians that come to this concert, from experience that I've seen, you will never see them at an abortion mill. You won't see them there tomorrow morning. They'll spend more time watching football and being at a Christian concert than rescuing any children from death. I just know that from experience. Our priorities are upside down. We don't believe children being mass murdered. We say I believe abortion's murder, but we don't actually act like a child is going to be slaughtered down the road tomorrow morning. We don't act like it.
No, I feel you, man. No, like I said, I appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Zach.
I was just gonna say, I was talking with my wife this week, reading some stuff, and I liken what our culture is going through right now is, I call it the silent Holocaust.
That's exactly what it is.
It's just like Nazi Germany, you know?
It is, and it's actually worse in some ways.
I'm just saying, because everyone now, I don't know if you know, but in Skokie, they're opening up a clinic there.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And it's like a spa. It's like a death spa. And they're touting it. They open it in Skokie, and that's a big Jewish community. And that's very appalling. They're doing it just to spite Jews. And they give little goodie bags when they leave, chocolates and things like that. It's like a coming out party. It's like
when do they murder children?
What's that?
When do they murder children? What days?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because I'm aware of 2 death camps that just opened up, and I've been trying to figure out what days that they murder children.
Yeah, I'm not sure when.
So
I'm not sure if it's even open yet, but this you're familiar with IFI at all?
IVF.
Is it IV? What was it?
In vitro fertilization.
No,
Or
it's Illinois Family Institute.
Oh no, I don't think I've heard of that.
Check it out, because she's really standing up against this group, that's coming in Skokie. But she did a great write-up. If you go on their website, it's IFI.
Okay.
But I've been looking to get more involved. Like, I told my wife it's like one of the biggest things that we could do now. I mean, because I look at it. I was thinking this week. It's like silent Holocaust. That's what it is.
Well, it's the murders are out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
The reason most Christians don't do anything about it is
they don't want to get involved.
Well, it's uncomfortable. Well, yeah, pretty much. They're lazy, and then their priorities are upside down.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I go, I see football. I see sports, and I see concerts that Christians go to, and yet you'll never see them at an abortion mill. Yeah. I've been to many abortion mills, and the presence of Christians is pathetic. I mean, it's terrible. I mean,
would that be just a clinic you're saying, or no? Like what's
an abortion mill, a modern day death camp?
It'd be like a clinic, though, right?
Well, I don't call them clinics because they're murdering people there. But you go there, and I've been to abortion mills where I was the only one out there, and I'm thinking this is a disgrace. That this is an indictment upon this nation that Christians do not care, like in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And like people ask why we would go to a Christian concert. Go to the Marilyn Manson concert. I'm like, well, I don't think there's probably not professing Christians at a Marilyn Manson concert. I mean, there's probably some.
Yeah.
But here we expect people, they're Christians.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're Christians who aren't doing anything about the Holocaust.
Right.
Just like we've been to churches to exhort them, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at a church yesterday and just preached the gospel. We're not going to do anything about this. I mean, they didn't say that literally, but we're just going to vote for politicians and pray.
Christians need to stand up and become more involved. And there's like a Christian alternative place. It used to be called, it's like Right for Life. Basically, it's a group where I forget, they just changed their name recently, and over the years they're given different options for the people, and I'm like, it's kind of, they're like trying to counsel different options. They're pro-life, but they're showing all the options. You know what I mean?
Is it including murder?
What?
Including murder?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then they're not pro-life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then what they're doing is evil.
I mean,
Guys, get up off the curb. Nobody wants to get hit by a truck, please.
Then what they're doing is evil.
Guys, can you get up off the curb, please?
You can never give murder as a choice.
yeah, but
I mean, that's terrible.
so you wouldn't consider yourself Christian? You're just against
No, I'm a Christian.
killing babies.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I do this because I'm Christian.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because there wouldn't be any reason to do this. Like, even a child who grows up and dies,
Yeah.
it's like, no, I do this because I'm a Christian. Because the second greatest commandment that Jesus said is, does anyone know? Does anyone know the second greatest commandment here?
Second,
The second greatest commandment that Jesus
love
says.
your neighbor as yourself.
Exactly. And so as a Christian, Christians are supposed to love their neighbor as themselves, including their preborn neighbor who's going to be murdered tomorrow morning.
Right.
And most Christians aren't doing that. The vast majority of Christians in America they'll give you every excuse in the book why they won't do anything. Like they'll say it's not my calling,
Yeah.
it's someone else's special calling. It's nonsense.
Not gifted in it, or
Well, I tell them, well, guess what? I'm not interested in it either, but I do it anyway. Because
But now, what about people at your church? Do they get involved and stuff, or what?
Well, I've only been in this area for a little bit, not
Okay.
long, but right now I'm doing kind of a home fellowship.
Okay.
But like the one I came from in Kansas, not nearly what I wanted. So not really. It saddened me like the lack of urgency.
Yeah.
Very very strong for the gospel.
Yeah.
About as strong as you're going to see. But I was really exhorting them to do more.
Right.
And even the strong churches that are really biblically based,
Yeah.
they don't do much.
Right. Yeah.
They just, our culture has been that we have so dehumanized the preborn for 45 years
Right.
that even strong Christians, mature Christians, if they are mature,
Do you feel that now with Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court that there's opportunity to reverse Roe versus Wade? I think
No.
his agenda is to do that, though.
I don't believe so.
I think he's going to try to do it in the next 2 years.
I don't believe he'll lift a finger. You know why? Because I don't believe he'll lift a finger because he's given millions to Planned Parenthood. Because I've read articles about him giving money to Planned Parenthood, millions of our tax dollars, and he it comes down to this: we have to stop trusting in the Supreme Court to fix this because they're not going to right their evil.
We need people grassroots to rise
Exactly,
up.
in local communities.
Vote local communities in who, I mean, like I tell my wife, we need to just do pro-life. Well, how do we vote on these things?
You don't want to, like, the problem with you don't want to do as far as like pro-life groups or pro-life politicians because they're all compromising, almost all of them. They put in pro-life Republicans who do nothing, who regulate abortion. They refuse to criminalize it.
Yeah.
And that's
But I mean,
we need
it's a start,
abolitionists.
though,
We need
you know?
abolitionists.
That are getting rid of it totally, you're saying?
Exactly, because pro-life Republicans, they will not lift a finger to abolish abortion. They will, in fact, I've seen it to where you get an abolitionist candidate and Christians promote an abolitionist bill that will abolish abortion, no exceptions.
Yeah.
The pro-life groups and pro-life Republicans will shoot it down. They work harder than the pro-abortion groups to shoot it down.
Why is that?
Because, I mean, I want to be careful about judging their motives, but they say that this bill, if it gets passed, it will wipe out all of our hard work. And I'd say good, because your hard work is allowing children to be butchered every day.
Every day, yeah.
You know, how about you get out of the way and let this bill go forth and these abortion bills shut down?
Right.
And we won't have to continue going out there.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, I just feel sick about it because I feel like we give more rights to pets than
we do.
you know? And it's
We
like,
worship animals,
yeah,
and we
it's
murder
it's
babies.
ridiculous, you know? The Canadian goose is an international protected species. And you can kill a baby, though. You can't kill a Canadian goose, though. You got put in jail for that.
Well, our priorities are just upside down. I mean,
it's sick. It really is. And this lady from IFI, would check out their website though too. So I think they're a great resource too. But she just wrote about this place in Skokie, and she just blasted it in our society and Christians too. Like we need to step it up. You know?
and they should be blessed. I mean, I don't understand why.
And she's you know, we need to all be sick that there's, you know, they're mocking basically Christians because they're opening this and making it glamorous. Like it's a spa. It's just something you do. You have a party, you just come, we make you feel better about yourself, you take a goodie back home. I mean, it's just sick.
Well, it's an indictment upon the church.
Yeah.
And even unbelievers recognize that. I've heard unbelievers who noticed, like they'll see two Christians at an abortion mill, and they'll say abortion must not be a big deal to Christians or to God because you have thousands of Christians in this area and just two out here.
Yeah.
And they're right. It's like abortion is not a big deal to most Christians in this country.
I mean, I was always thinking too in the back of my head, would it be good to, like, you know, when nobody's there, bomb those places or something, you know, as a Christian, should we, you know?
Well,
take,
I mean,
you know, offense to stuff that we have to take matters into our own hands, you know?
We need to act the same way that towards our preborn neighbors as we'd act if born people were being butchered in front of us.
Right.
Or if we knew when and where this was going to happen, we need to act that same way, and we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like if you
saw murder happen.
But yeah, if you got a tip that a school was going to be shot up tomorrow morning here in the Chicago area,
right.
You're not going to say, well, that's not my calling. I'm going to want someone else to take care of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody.
I mean, people will call you a coward for doing that.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what we do with preborn children.
Right.
We know when and where they're going to be murdered tomorrow morning in Chicago and all over the country, and Christians refuse to do anything about it.
Yeah.
They say, I'm going to pray about that. And, you know, that's someone else's special calling.
Yeah. Now, you got information on your group or anything?
Yeah, that...
okay. Because I'm looking to get more involved in my... I'm out in the suburbs, but I'm looking to get more involved, so...
Well, that... are you on Facebook?
Yes. Barely. My wife is more than I am, so she's on my account.
This has... I don't know...
But it has a Facebook account on there?
There's a page on there, Abolitionism.
Okay.
On the Facebook. There's... let's see if this has it. Okay, this has the website, abolishhumanabortion.com.
Yeah,
this has a lot more information, actually.
All right, sounds good. Good talking with
what's
you,
your
man.
name?
My name's Keith.
Keith. Yeah. I'm Nicholas.
Nicholas, good to meet you.
We
see you down the road.
Both Matt and I, we have YouTube channels. If you'd want to get connected with us, because we go out to the streets about every day.
Okay.
And I mean, because we don't actually live in the Chicago area.
Okay.
But I mean, you'd be welcome to.
You say you're not from Chicago? Are you not? You
We're from Wheaton.
From what?
From Wheaton.
Wheaton. Okay, I'm in McHenry.
Okay.
So I have family in Wheaton, though. So.
But I mean, you could.
You do anything with College Church at all? They're pretty strong.
We actually. Not really. They're not real strong on this. We just went there a few times.
I know a bunch of leaders in that church, so.
Well, you can look up our videos and see the response. It wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Wasn't the worst. Wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Some of the older people, the elders, they were blocking our signs. Walking right in front of our signs so that children wouldn't have to see them.
Yeah.
I mean, it just. Most of them walked by without talking to us. It could have been a lot better than it was.
Okay. All right, man. Well, thanks for doing what you're doing. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good to talk with you.
It's check out. I don't know if you want to look up our YouTube channels to see what, because that look it up on YouTube about abolish human abortion and see what abolitionists are doing.
Okay.
That will encourage you. Like, what can I do?
Yeah.
I'll give you ideas.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Let's go.